feels that they will do anything for them, and that's not true. I mean, the importance of a government, I think it's entirely based on how the government makes the company look to other countries. So the government purpose should be to maintain the country alive and with a democratic system, etc. Not to found people, not to give money to people. In Spain, if you are fired, you receive a salary. It's strange. I mean, I feel this is strange, and there are kinds of fake the system. So you have a salary, but you also have a work, and the biggest amount of 500 euros papers are in Spain because okay. So I think the government should be changed, but not for the alternative, but for something totally new. But it's not possible, so I prefer not to present my alternative yet. I think I have the last question from my Scotland friend, and the super last question I will be answering, like going down. Hi, Scotland.
Hello, my name is Ajish Varghese from Scotland, as I said. Got a couple of questions. It's more about general entrepreneurship.
Sure.
First one is, in your amazing journey so far, from having the bright idea to where you're now, are there any other, say, one or maybe two things in particular that enabled yourself and your co-founder or founders to actually make this journey happen, other than the getting the CEO, which you've already mentioned?
Sure.
That's the first question. Second question is entrepreneurship, are you like a born entrepreneur, or is that a learned skill?
Okay.
What's in your opinion, what is it?
Okay, so answering the first question, I'll probably forgot the second one, but just let's focus on the first one. Where I think that we had that brought EyeOs to success was to be able to know where we had the limit. I mean, looking for a boss, it's something that sounds cool, but it's not the easiest thing when you have the whole control to give the control to anyone else. It's really hard. But especially in those difficult moments, to try to not look at the market. This is totally against what important and usually expensive business schools teach. They tell you always have to be looking at the market. Always we had a super bad moment on EyeOs. We forgot about the market and we centered on what the lack of our product that makes people go to the competence. But let's focus on our one. I don't care if the competence just presented this feature. If we feel that this feature will be cool for EyeOs, let's do it, even if it could be much easier to integrate another one, people one. So the perseverance, the idea of continuing even when something really bad is happening with the competence or something really good is happening without changing the roadmap, and the ability to find people who is much better than us in any single area. I want to be the worst person in all areas in EyeOs. Then I was just talking on events, so people will be doing the great job. So it's something interesting to combine, okay? Finding people better than you and not stopping to look what's happening with the competence when they do something amazing, for good or for bad. And the second question was easier. Okay, if entrepreneurship is a born skill or a teached skill, I totally believe that it's a teached skill. I mean, a person who has been living for 50 years working for the public government can become an entrepreneur in 3 weeks. I mean, it's just a way of thinking about problems and possible solutions. It's just a way of imagining the world. In my case, I plan to be a radio talker or a radio presenter or wherever you talk in the radio, so you are radio something. I wanted to be that thing. In Spain, that was my dream. And I started to create things, because I loved to make Legos when I was young. But actually, I learned how to think about this on 3 weeks on Cambridge. I mean, I totally think that there is nothing about you are born with a special skill. No. I feel that we are all exactly the same when we are born, and after that, the training we receive is what creates us. There was another question after my Scotland friend. Okay. Actually, I was talking a lot during a lot of time because I thought you would have no questions. Usually Spaniard people do not have questions, but except Lydia? Miriam.
Hello.
També.
I'm from Finland. I'm Annina Alilaurila. In Finland, usually we don't have questions, so we have the same thing.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for your speech. It was absolutely this far the most important and interesting we've had here, even though you were talking 170
Really?
speech, you too.
Oh, that's hilarious.
My question and kind of comment also is that in Finland there was just an investigation for a year ago, something like that, how much money and how many millions we have used in Finland for public sector IT systems just to create e-government or e-systems and e-papers for the healthcare and for the school system and all that. But and as I was before working for the public sector, I learned that one reason why they didn't buy open source systems, which were of course much more less expensive, but also they could be working in the public sector, was that the people that were buying the systems didn't know about those. So how would you say, does it happen here in Spain, or how you see it in the future?
It happens exactly the same. The Catalan government created a Linux distribution and sent a copy of the Linux distribution to every single public school. There are 2,800 public schools in Catalonia. 3 years later, 12 schools were using entirely there were burned 3,000 DVDs, so it's not a good rate. The main reason the schools put when they examined it, well, we used something like 1 million euros of creating this with 3 companies, etc. Why is not people using? The answer was exactly the same. You are hiring one company called T-Systems, which is not a Spanish company, but the T-Systems engineers only work with Microsoft machines. They are certified by Microsoft, not certified by Linux. They feel that you cannot be, for sure you can be certified by Linux, but they didn't even know that. So, and in Finland, you know a lot of Linux, you know. But the only reason why the Catalan Linux distribution was not being used by the 98%, 99% of the schools was that the people in charge of IT departments just received the DVD and said, whoa, I don't know anything about this, and my company is not training me. For sure, and this is my last comment, I believe that if the company said, who wants to have a free training certification official for Linux, nobody would be showing the hand, mainly because if I will not be fired from my place, why I want to learn something new? That's all. Thank you very much for being here.
So,
thank you.
Thank you for your attention. A special thanks to Pau Garcia-Milà for being here with us today with such interesting speech. So please join me in another big applause for him.